Hi, my loves. This is the weekly healing messages. I'm so excited about this one. This is the weekly healing messages from Spirit. This week, 25th through October 2nd. And I really have so much to say, and I'm going to be trying to talk as fast as I can. Because, to be blunt, I like to make the videos so I can put them on YouTube. And I do that on purpose because I don't want them like on Facebook regularly, like live or something, because I want them to be able to be found for you to go back and look at them later if you need to. And that's why I don't want to have a whole bunch of programmed live ones that are hard to find when you want to go back and find them for very reasons like this. In this area right here, if you notice smoke, that's because before I started to bring this specific message forward for this video, I lit some sage, some white sage to be burning. So you might be noticing the smoke as it starts to glide over this way. However, like I said, this is the weekly healing messages for September 25th through October 2nd. I'm going to give you that messages as quickly as possible. But the reason I say that is after, basically after the video goes past a certain amount of time, I can't upload it to Facebook, is what I finally have figured out. It won't upload in the voice and everything. It splits into 2 videos. So I'm going to try to make it quick because there's so much information. This video is going to be telling us about the guidance we need to know for this week in general, but it's so much more than just this week. Because I'm going to give you that information, and then I'm going to give you what I've been channeling all week that I'm being told to bring out. And it's time to bring it out. It's time for us to start to evolve, period. And this is a part that will help us within that actual evolving of ourselves, of our soul, of our consciousness, of dimensions, our frequencies, our vibrations, in all ways, if you understand what I'm going to be going over. And I'm going to do my best to break it down the best I can from what it is Spirit has been showing me while I've been in a channel with Gaia again and with the Tree of Life, as well as I've been with a lot of divine energy this week. But let me start off with, first off, remember at the end of this week we are going into October. Now, October is typically when it is already known for the veil itself to be thinning, and that is true. However, it has been thinning like crazy more and more recently anyway. However, but I want to remind you, that means not only is the veil thinning and those energies are becoming more sensitive for us to notice, but this is also coming into a number 10 month, which is 1 and 0. 0 brings us to, you know, the divine manifestation and the divine creation of those energies and magnified, along with 1, which is the alpha and the beginning and the creation. So this is that perfect time for us to start getting in sync with that. And when you find yourself getting in sync, I'm so excited. And I got a loose tooth. If you see it pop out, I have a phobia with dentists, so I'm basically just waiting for it to fall out. And if I start sounding funny, I'm sorry. But anyway, when you start to get in sync and you start noticing you're in sync with things, synchronicity in general, if you start to notice this, you need to let the universe know that you are noticing it, because that brings on more synchronicity for being in sync. Therefore, it also gets you more connected. It brings your vibrations higher and brings you starting up into a higher vibration, a higher frequency, a connection with spirit, divine, and everything that you typically do not see with your regular human eyes. Even though that's just a flaw, because we're still in the human consciousness, learning how to be more of what the human consciousness is capable of, is the best way of putting it. So anyway, we are starting off with the number 10. Now, and I'm going to come back and explain this through so much more as I get into that information. But I am given lightning, and I am basically given the question, got lightning? Do you have lightning in you? And lightning deals with illumination, with so many different things, through so many different mythologies and religions and cultures. So I can go in many different ways, but I'm going to tell you what Spirit is telling me when I get back to got lightning. But I wanted you to know that it is also going to be dealing with our solar plexus and the wheel of the year, as well as the wheel of the year, the calendar wheel, so to speak, the wheel of change, the wheel of fortune, the solar wheel. That's going to make more sense when I get to that part. But this is part of that information that they're giving us for this week in general anyway. I am told also you need to understand and work with the best you can the Aum symbol. The Aum symbol is considered the three rays of light. It is balance, equality, and inspiration. It speaks to us of the flowing of energy. It speaks to us of earth, air, and the sea, of energy and of truth, as well as yin and yang and the balance of it. I'm also given this week from all of the guides and everything for this week for the healing guidance that will go with the astrology that is already out, is I'm being told you're going to have a lot, and you need to, as long as we do it in a positive way, of our animal instincts. And this is learning to trust our instincts and listen to them and basically follow through with the task of what the instincts are telling us. But mainly I am given for animals in general, and you might want to look that up and go Google it, because I have too much to talk about to go into that indirectly or directly. You might want to Google what bear medicine is, the totem, the spirit guide, as well as the cat. But I am going to admit, on the cat, I'm a little bit confused by the way I'm being shown it. I don't know if it's cat's energy, a spirit guide, totem, power, or if it's kind of moved a little bit further into the fact that the cat is showing up as a shadow cat for us. But it is trusting our animal instincts. But on a more drastic level, I am given the bear and the wolf. And, I mean, the bear and the cat. I do have the wolf in it somewhat because I can smell him. And, but I'm not so, the wolf isn't as powerful, because he also has a lot to do with solitude, with being by himself, depending on the situation and who's reading this. That would be why they're showing me the bear and the, or who's viewing the video. This is why they're showing me the bear and the cat. Now, I am given several numbers this week, and I will go over it a little bit, but not too much. You can always Google what the spiritual significance is of the number or the angel number for a deeper detail. I am given 74, and 74 speaks to us of secrets and knowledge within those secrets, of our psychic abilities, of awakening and development, of our inner wisdom, good fortune, our will, our determination, our structure, responsibilities, and solid foundations. I'm also given, and I said it was a dagger, but I might be a little wrong. And I say that because I put the astrology out first, and I did place this little bit of information in that video. This is my tooth getting in the way, so I'm having trouble from time to time. The number that I'm given, to me it looks like a dagger. But it could also be like a cross, and on the top of the line for the cross would be the number. I'm seeing 96. But to me, it looks like a dagger, and the number 96 is on the handle. Now, the thing is, the 96 also gets my attention, that it makes me think of the Cancer sign. So it may be going in that energy too, depending on what it really means for you. But 96 also speaks to us of light workers, period, of getting to work, getting to doing your job as a light worker, of inner wisdom, of universal spiritual law. That's going to go in with what I'm going to come into when I ask you if you got lightning. It also speaks to us of karma, of material and monetary aspects within our life, as well as family, sympathy, home, nurturing, grace, and gratitude. And that brings us also back again to the remembering, synchronicity, when it's happening, when you're a part of it. Acknowledge it, because universe, the source, your angels, your guides, Gaia, Mother Earth, all, they can communicate with you more when they know you're communicating with them. And then that communication gets stronger. So that has to do not with just gratitude. It is gratitude, but it's about also letting them know, yeah, I'm in it now. We're talking. We're having this communication. So I'm given the number 74. I'm given the number 96. Although for me, it looks like it's on the handles of a dagger. And I'm given the number 212. You can always look them up, like I said, and go into that information of whether it's an angel number or the spiritual guidance of those numbers. That would be up to you and how you take it. I'm reminded, if you didn't watch the astrology one, to remind you, Jupiter is making all kinds of noise right now. Jupiter is knowledge, higher knowledge, abundance. It is the magnet. And it is bringing things to the attention of where your Jupiter needs them to be brought to within your life. Which is typically going to be dealing with relationships outwardly and inwardly with yourself. And acknowledging things that must change. Because next is Pluto. Pluto is going direct this week. So any information you did not learn while Pluto was in retrograde, Pluto is going to smack you upside the head with Jupiter this week and make sure that you are getting those, seeing, coming to know whatever that information is that you need to know so that you can get the proper memo and make those changes. And Mercury. Mercury is talking to us about the communication, both outwardly and inwardly, of making sure that our communication is done properly and well. So you've got those three planets making a lot of energy for us this week. Now, as I get into what is got lightning, I have said several times, I'm so excited about this. I've been revved up about it. I have said several times that I channel the tree of life, I channel Gaia, and that I do channel other energies and divine energies, and that when I am a shaman and I'm doing the shamanic work, that I also I travel to the upper world. And I have many teachers, many different gods from different cultures, because I have a lot of times that I'm dealing with Hindu gods or Egyptian gods, Norse gods. But I also, one of my teachers, and it's not that I'm Christian, but I really have a connection with Jesus. And Jesus shows me before I'm being taught everything else, which when I finally started to get it, I understood finally what it was that he was saying. Jesus is looking at me and he's smiling. And because I'm always asking Jesus, I'm like, well, help me understand what it means or what it feels like to be used so that I can comprehend where I'm trying to be going with this. You know, in the sense of where that divine energy is supposed to be taking me so that I'm on the right path. And I'm asking this question and he smiles at me and he turns away. And what threw me off was he turned away. But it wasn't that at all. When he turned away, I didn't see the sun. I see the light that is glowing off of him. The rays of light from the sun. But the sun wasn't what was important here. It was the rays of light that was coming off of him. got lightning. Hold on, this is going to make more sense. He also explains that it has to do with sacrifice. And sometimes sacrifice is not what you expect it to be in any way, shape, or form. Because what we have to come to realize as we mature spiritually and psychically, the body itself is a tool. And I've been trying to write a book called The Body is a Tool for a while. I just have not been able to completely get it finished because every time I get a little further in, they make me rewrite something to correct it, be more on point. And eventually I'm going to get it out there. But anyway, they're telling me, yes, the body is a tool. But you got to learn how to make it that tool. You got to learn that we have to unmanifest, uncreate, and remove those lower vibrations, those frequencies, those lower dimensions in consciousness in order to create. This is what I said the other day. The consciousness makes manifest, is what I was being told. The consciousness makes manifest. However, the consciousness is only an extension within the very consciousness of infinity, forever and ever and ever. Now, with me saying that and explaining that sometimes, just like when we get on this path, we start realizing what we have been taught, what we think we know. We realize we were taught wrong. We didn't know. We were conscious to some things, but so off the mark on so many others, especially when we start to walk the spiritual path. And we learn that everything we learned prior to that, we have to unlearn. It's not just unlearning, they're saying. You have to uncreate it, unmanifest it, so that you can get rid of those lower vibrations, frequencies, consciousnesses, and dimensions, so that you can start to create and move up within those very things that you got rid of. The creating in the new vibrations, the higher frequencies, higher vibrations, and to those higher dimensions, which equals extensions of your consciousness, of the infinity. However, you're not going to get there as quick by thinking about it. You have to just come to know it. And when you're ready to move into those levels, you will. But you need to know that, yeah, that's supposed to be the way it's supposed to be. Let me break it down for you, and then I'll walk you through. Because this is how they explained it to me, and I had to go back and look for human form of words to make it make sense. Energy itself is power, strength, vitality. And it is required for something to be sustained within physical and mental activity. Energy is power, strength, vitality, required for being sustained in order to become physical or mental activity. Now, when you realize we are energy, okay? That's mass, okay? Mass is 99% of mass is made up of 6 elements, when actually another 85 is made up of the 5 elements, but I'm not going to go into what those elements are because there's not enough time for all of that. But we are mass of the energy, basically, which is what made us become physical. Now what we miss is the lightning part. What we miss is an electrical current. We ourselves are electrical currents, just not in the way we typically would think of electrical currents, like lights, that run through a wire. An electrical current is a flow of that electrical charge being carried through a wire. You are the wire. You are connected to Gaia. You are connected to the tree of life. It's within you. It's part of you. It's an extension of you. However, until you activate it and you understand this, then you're like an electrical current that's turned off, unplugged from the wall, uncharged, like a stone that that has not been cleansed, has not been charged, has not been activated. It's not turned on. It's not plugged in yet. So, technically, we have to realize that electrical current that is within us, within the very energy of who and what we are, deals with our chakras. Deals with not only our chakras and them being in balance or out of balance, but being activated. And once we start to activate them and put them in balance and actually not just have to work with balance or imbalance, but seriously, truly in tune, start getting spiritual and work with them, lightning. All right, let me explain. I am being told, yes, you've got your typical chakras, and then of course you have the ones that go into the higher dimensions, but when we come back down to the typical chakras, we have our root chakra up to our crown. And they're saying, yes, you've got to have your root chakra stable, but that is your I am anyway. Why isn't everything I am? Why isn't everything I can? Why isn't everything I do? Is what they're explaining. Take your sacral chakra, take your solar chakra, and take your heart chakra, line them up. There is, your sacral chakra is holding your very passion for life, passion of existence. Your solar chakra, honey, your solar chakra is where the lightning is found, is where your awesomeness is where the magic is created. But you gotta get that solar plexus turned on, not just to I do, I create, but I am all of it. Do you get what I'm saying? And hook it up with your heart so that your heart can tell your solar plexus to do it with love, to do it with compassion, and allow them to allow that consciousness that can be spoken from your mouth through your third eye and into your actual crown to come out in sync. The lightning bolt flows through the tree. You've seen pictures all the time of where the lightning has come down and broken the tree in half. Now, in our consciousness, yeah, lightning could kill you, yes. So it's metaphorically speaking, is how they're explaining it to me. But that's because the lightning has to flow through the tree. Lightning is known to be like the Celtics would build, the Druids would build. It's said that they built their spiritual places for their spiritual work, their spiritual rituals, where lightning would hit the ground because it's divinely touched. Got lightning means I am now divinely touched. So, are we divinely touched? And if so, are we activated? And if so, what in the world are we supposed to do with that? I mean, truly, what in the world are we supposed to do with that? Because this is where I'm coming into. They're explaining to us that this is where we've gotten manifestation wrong. And they're showing me circles right now with the lightning in it for the symbol that I just made, actually. So, thank you for that synchronicity. And if I'm wrong, I hope that people are picking up on it, because I just stated what I'm being shown. Because I'm seeing like that blue of fire when it's just lit in like a burning circle. But that also has to do with the symbol I just made. So either way, I'm being reminded. See, the problem is we go from our belief system, our hoping, our faith, thinking, belief, and to finally knowing. There's a difference between believing, trying, and knowing. If you're trying, you're going to find out a lot of times it's not working out for you. Because, especially in manifestation, because you're trying to manifest. You're not actually manifesting, you're trying. The difference is knowing. Going from believing and hoping and praying and trying all of that into, I know because I am it. I create it. I do it. And there is where that solar plexus is coming out with the very lightning that is within us, that divine touch that is within us. And where we get actually online, where we start to charge ourselves up with the lightning and with the consciousness that goes with it, and being able to go infinity of understanding all of those different consciousnesses. Let me break it down for you. What they're showing me is the symbol of the wheel of the year, but then it's got the lightning running through it. And the symbol of the year, for the wheel of the year, or the calendar wheel, or the astrology chart, or the solar wheel. The symbol of all of these pretty much are the same. The wheel of change, the wheel of fortune, is what they're saying is they're taking that energy, placing the lightning on the outside of it, and spinning it. You know, putting it on its axis and spinning it and setting it into motion. The lightning must be turned on. And they put the tree inside of it because you are all of those consciousnesses. And here's the thing. If you ever look at spider webs and how they're created, it's the same symbol. It's the same symbol as the wheel of the year, of the wheel of fortune, the wheel of change, the solar wheel, your solar plexus. And it's your very consciousness of Gaia and who you are in everything and being able to activate it. The problem people have with manifestation is what I'm being told has to do with the not being connected, not having the lightning. You're still in a belief system. You're still in a hoping, trying, and faithful system, and you haven't quite gotten into knowing. And when you start knowing, then it's all going to start to change, including the world around you. However, you go through phases of learning. So the knowing is something that you have to come into a better consciousness of continuously knowing. Again, a cycle within a cycle, as they explain. But it's dealing with revolving, the twirling disc of your chakras, of your lightning, of the wheel of the year, of your solar wheel, of your lightning, of your power, of your divine touch. And it speaks to us of the cosmic seed, the secret seed, the cosmic signature, and the cosmic elements that are within us, not just outwardly. Finding them, activating them, turning them on, because it's the same thing. It's the same symbol we come across anytime we see what the spider web has created, or the spider is created by the web. The spider is known for being something that creates. They're asking you, be a creator. See, and understand that the very tree of life, the high, the low, the middle, and all of its realms of consciousnesses are from within, above, and below. Decreate what is not of the consciousness that you need it to be. Uncreate it. Unmanifest it. Start taking it out. Not just out of your life, but out of the consciousness that you was taught that was lower than who and what you are. You have divine within you. So stop letting the consciousness keep you in a lower vibration. Uncreate it. Walk away. Walk away from those people that are keeping you there. I mean, maybe you can't always walk away entirely at all times from every situation, but you can walk away in a different way. You don't have to take part. You don't have to fight with them, the situation and stuff. It's learning how to uncreate the lowerness so you have the room to create within that wheel, that's the wheel, period, which is holding your tree and holding Gaia within it and bringing to life exactly what you want. Because what they're explaining to me is manifestation is a great idea. However, we think way too small on manifestation. We get thinking about manifestation as bringing it to us. Not creating, but bringing it to us. Bringing to us the opportunity to have the chance to build success, bringing to us the love that you want, bringing to us the financial. This is what we think of when we think of manifestation. But we also get sidetracked in that lower consciousness because we're still stuck in the wrong beliefs that we're learning to overcome. We're still stuck in our actions from when we sometimes are working in those lower vibrations, from when we are sometimes thinking thoughts from within those lower vibrations. We're not always thinking, and we're not always doing the proper best actions for our life. Let's face it, we get pissed off sometimes. Nobody wants to be an asshole. Nobody wants to be mean. Nobody wants to be rigid and cold-hearted, and nobody wants to be self-centered in negative ways. But it's the human experience. It happens sometimes. And we have to remember that every time we are manifesting, especially when we're not trying to manifest, what we do naturally, sometimes is that lower consciousness that we're learning to come up into a higher consciousness, into those higher dimensions, because you're still going to be within dimensions upon dimensions. Technically, you can be in more than one dimension at one time, and within those frequencies and within those realms and within the vibrations, you're learning to clean out the lower stuff, because even when you did it on accident, we're held responsible for the consequences of whatever it is we manifested, good or bad. And we're looking at manifestation as is bring it to me what I want. Let me manifest my life to be getting better in some way or another. Let me manifest my financial situation to be getting better in some way or another. Let me manifest my lover to me. Let me manifest all of this stuff, and people are getting the wrong idea. Yes, you are manifesting, but you also got to remember when you're not trying, you're still manifesting. And that has to do with those lower consciousnesses. What they're saying, if you want to manifest, learn to manifest right, because we're thinking too small. Manifestation should not be the way we're seeing it. Manifestation is telekinesis. You're learning to ignite the solar plexus and got lightning. Turn it on. Charge yourself up. Truthfully make the changes to create, because you're not manifesting anymore. You simply are creating. Period. And what they explain to me is as you're learning to overcome this and do this, if you're getting any of what I'm saying, play games with yourself, because you're not always going to get it right. But when you do get it right, make sure that you let the universe know you're in sync. Make sure you thank them for working with you and acknowledging when you're getting it right from when you're not, because that's how you'll know that the solar plexus and your activation and your charged up lightning is working, because you need them to continue to work with you so that you can feel and understand what it feels like to know when you got it right. Just like Jesus was showing me when he turned away from me. He wasn't turning away from me. He was showing me the light, the rays of light that was coming off of him, out of who and what he was. It's the lightning that's within you. Very simple. But they say in order to start to learn, we manifest all the time, with or without knowing it, with or without trying. If we want to start doing it right, start doing small things. To start truthfully teaching yourself in here to know how it feels when you're getting it right, and activate your lightning. Activate your divine source within you. Activate that connection and the synchronicity of the oneness of Gaia and the tree of life that is within you, and you'll see everything start to change. And what they say to me is, play yourself with little games so that you can acknowledge when it's right and when it's not, by doing something simple. I have friends, and I do this too. I have friends who have brought it up to my attention, and this is part of how it came to be that we moved this far ahead in this conversation, spirit and the channeling and everything, is because driving down the road, just driving down the road. Sometimes you get in traffic. Sometimes you're behind a slow-ass person who's driving. Can you come on? Basically. And when you're not trying, you're not frustrated, you're not worried, you're just in the oneness. And you didn't even mean to be in the oneness. You just happen to be in it. I've had people, myself, other friends of mine who are in, who are in this enlightening with us, this light worker ability of finding our way into, a better world and creating the higher vibrations. And a lot of times when we're driving, you're just driving down the road and not really trying, but more of, I'm driving, and I've decided you're kind of too slow. Move over. And the cars move. Now, if you're doing it on purpose and you're trying to be like, I'm driving down the road and this lady who I'm watching on this video is telling me if I just move my hand, that the car will move. No, it's not going to work that way. You have to have the connection turned on. You have to have the lightning turned on. But you also have to learn to know when you got it turned on. And that has to do with knowing when you're in the knowing. You get what I'm saying? You're no longer in the belief system. You're no longer in the hoping system. You're no longer in the trying system. You're in the knowing. I'm driving down the road and I'm in that right place and I'm just like, move. And they move. Or even better, if you're far enough away and you're driving, start changing the lights. Start changing the lights. Know that you're going to make it turn green. Know that it's not even that you're going to make it turn green. Know that it's time for it to turn green. Know that it's time for it to turn red. And sometimes you'll find out that you are in the right synchronicity, but in the wrong way. Because sometimes there's turning lanes. You might be thinking and hoping and believing and knowing and get it right. All of that at the same time in the lane that you're not in. But that has to do with learning how to turn your lightning on, how to work with it, how it's really in sync, how the knowing is the knowing versus the trying. When you get out of the trying and you start knowing is when the changes happen. Perfect example. I have wind chimes in the house. It's just one of my spiritual protective things. But I will sit there and from time to time I'll be in the knowing and all of a sudden they'll start chiming or spinning, twisting in some form or another. I'm giving you ideas. I'm not telling you to go out and start trying. Because again, if you're trying, it's never going to work. It's only going to be when you're in the knowing. And when you're in the knowing is when, my love, you got lightning. Hugs and kisses in the wind, and I will see you soon. Bye, everybody. Please check out the astrology if you need some more guidance, because there's always 2 videos. And you might want to check my Facebook page, because I also have the runes that have been pulled for this week as well. Hugs and kisses in the wind. Bye, everybody.